Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. And all right, let's go. We were going to meet the plastic-faced man. We took out Xiaozi. And we're going to meet the plastic-faced man. We head to the Fa Yuan Tower apartments to capture Li Tailong, the plastic-faced man. That's loud. The swell vent looks large enough to accommodate a standard security drone. Oh shit. What's the thing? That's good. And the code for the door was 112798. The door slides open. And Duncan. And got it. Hey, Millie Nixie. Depends on the acid. And if it's citric acid, then it's not a problem. Get over there. Get over there. Up. Get over there. Yeah, slice. Get over there. Got you. And reloading. The neural inhibitor device seems to be working. Let's get this guy to a secure location and get some answers out of him. I'll come to crew and have them meet us. Alright, let's move. Your crew is silent as you lead your captive to the rooftop rendezvous you designated before the run. Just as you planned, you find the others waiting there for you. Li Tailong's artificial features are molded into an expression of aloof intellect and mocking rigidity. The plastic that makes up his face is soft, flexing with the motion of his underlying musculature. Overlapping wafers of silver and bronze foil, buried inside the material, catch the light as he moves. It's the work of a master craftsman. Cyberware is a form of modern art, likely commissioned at modern art pieces. An ostentatious display of status and wealth. The plastic-faced man examines the zip ties that bind his wrists with an expression of detached amusement. Isabel runs a long cable from her PDA to the jack in the back of his head and nods at you. Well, this is interesting, I must say. He chuckles, an odd, hollow sound. I don't recall ever having been in this situation before. I usually simply awaken to find myself in a strange new environment, wondering what happened. I guess there's a first time for everything, huh? He surveys your crew with a detached indifference. Looking at the lot of you, I think it's safe to assume that a violent extraction of information is the next order of business. Oh, you can bank on that, arsehole. Wu focuses his attention on the plastic-faced man's kneecaps. So, you chose to grab me in an intimate moment. I suppose that's wise? Only moderate resistance. But the girl paid for it, didn't she? He considers. Clearly, the preservation of metahuman life isn't a high priority for you. We didn't kill your girlfriend. She'll have a headache when she wakes up, but she'll be fine. Riva, we have a problem. Isabel stares down at her PDA. Dreamland's neural inhibitor software isn't interacting with this guy's cortical implant the same way it worked with her own. It's only going to slow the memory wipe process. How long do I have? I don't know, but talking about software I didn't write interacting with two different pieces of hardware I've never seen before. We're lucky this works at all. She begins a flurry of two-handed thumb taps on her PDA. I'll try and key in some buffering routines or something to slow it as much as I can, but my confidence is low. Isabel shakes her head at the PDA, her face pinched in frustration. This guy's memory is going to get wiped one way or another. I'd start asking questions, Riva. Tense. Very tense. The silky plastic of his face slides into a smooth smile. I guess I'll answer your questions rather slowly. I wonder what's under that mask of yours. I was wondering the same thing. Crochet servos were, as if in anticipation. Don't bother looking, neither of us will enjoy it. I guarantee. Besides, I was joking. We don't need to step through a process. My clients know I'm a professional and that I take extraordinary precautions to protect their secrets. If those precautions were compromised, it was due to an extreme circumstance. He lifts his chin a bit and his tone becomes even more matter-of-fact. You ask your questions, Reva. I'll answer them as efficiently as I can. When we're done, I'll shake hands with a stranger and walk away wondering what just happened. Why is Josephine Tseng trying to kill us? She believes you're here to destroy one of her special projects. Prosperity? Yes, although technically there is more than one Prosperity. Prosperity Tower is Tsang Mechanical Engineering's corporate headquarters. Prosperity is also one of Josephine Tsang's pet projects. Which one do you want to know about first? His voice gets a sing-song tone. Tick-tock. I want to hear about the Prosperity Project. Well, that's going to be challenging. You see, the Prosperity Project is Joe Tsang's best-kept secret, and the best way to keep secrets is to not tell anyone, even someone whose memory can be wiped. All I know is that Prosperity is something built deep inside Kowloon Walled City, some kind of experiment that her son was working on. Edward Tsang. No, wait, Raymond Black, my father. Wish stands up tall, takes that amused tone he gets when someone's about to get hurt. Hey, Mr. Plastic. Maybe you could settle a bet between me and my sister. Wood puts his face close to Lee's. His breath fogs the plastic. Now, I think Raymond is still alive, but my sister here isn't so sure. Wood's voice drops to a stage whisper. Which is it, buddy? Raymond Black, dead or alive? I've got 20 new yen on this. Guys, a status bar popped up. It isn't moving yet, but you never know when it might take a jump. The little Decker watches the screen for a moment. It's stuck at 0 right now, but the process is starting and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Yeah, give me that. Lee reaches out a perfectly manicured hand to Isabel. I'll show you something. Isabel pulls away on instinct and looks at you. This is a calculated gamble. You are running out of time and holding all the guns. I have information you want, and betting that if I share it with you, you won't kill me when this is over. Go on, Is. Let him have it. The plastic-faced man takes the PDA from Isabel and stares down at the screen. His eyes become unfocused and he stands like a statue. A low-resolution video recording pops onto the screen. A small weathered man, possibly in his 70s, is strapped to a high-tech chair and connected to an elaborate scientific instrument behind him. The recording is from the first-person perspective, presumably the plastic-faced man's. This is from when I first brought the asset, your father, to Prosperity Tower. His eyes remain unfocused, still as a statue. After I took him from the tea house on the docks. The video continues and a confident voice can be heard from off-screen, a woman's. I can't make out what she says. The point of view turns to the right, and a graceful woman of indeterminate age steps into view. She is clearly advanced in years, but access to a nourishing diet and cutting-edge pharmaceuticals afford her the vitality of someone much younger. She speaks directly to the camera. Her tone is hard. I warned you to be gentle with him, Mr. Lee. She looks over at the old man with genuine concern. He looks as if someone teased him. The voice of the plastic-faced man replies, I assure you, Mrs. Tsang, I was gentle. He walked out of the tea house under his own power. The old man speaks, his voice weary and hoarse. May I have some water, mother? My throat feels like it's on fire. She responds tenderly. Yes, of course, Edward. I'll have someone bring you some ice chips. The plastic-faced man speaks again, his voice lowered. Your son has apparently been through some sort of ordeal. He appeared demented at times, and he's been mumbling about stopping something. Prosperity, I think. Yes, well, that won't be happening. The woman addresses her son, speaking a bit too loudly as if hard of hearing. We won't be stopping Prosperity, Edward. I want you to get that out of your mind. Do you understand? I understand perfectly well, Mother. There's no need to shout. But I won't give up. Prosperity must be stopped. All those poor people. The woman frowns and shakes her head. I know, Edward, I know. Those poor people. I've done a lot of good to make up for it since you left. Shelters, hospitals, all sorts of good work. Now it's time to do something for you. Something I should have done a long time ago, perhaps. From the left side of the screen, a man enters in a white lab coat. The woman looks up and nods, and the lab-coated man places a chrome apparatus on the old man's head. Raymond speaks dreamily as if a drug has started its work. What is this, Mama? What are you doing to me? I'm fixing you, Edward. She walks up close to the old man, strokes his head tenderly. She leans forward to kiss it. All you can see is failure. You're incapable of seeing the good in what you've done. The man in the white lab coat presses a button on Raymond's chair and a robotic arm swings into view. Cobalt blue light springs from its tip and the arm quickly circumnavigates the old man's head, bathing it in oscillating blue. A high-definition, three-dimensional image of Raymond's brain appears on the wall behind. I've been inspired by Mr. Lee here. The woman turns and looks at the camera. We're going to do some editing of your memories, to relieve you of your burden. Raymond mumbles dreamily, desperately fighting to get the words out. No, Mama, wait. I figured out what to do. And then he is asleep. The woman moves closer to the camera. Your payment will be made according to our agreement. She turns away, her voice cold. Once the rest of them are dead. The video ends and the plastic-faced man exhales slowly. I've taken a big risk showing you that. I don't give a rat's ass. Weir turns to you. You see, I knew it. Told you, Reva. Raymond's alive. Sang's holding him at Prosperity Tower. He may be alive. But it looks like his mom's gonna erase part of his memory. Just like Johnny Plastic here. She's gonna try to fix him. What kind of mother would do that? Something catches her eye and she looks down suddenly. Shit, shit, shit. Isabel thumbs her PDA furiously, but it's no use. That's it, he's wiping. She pulls the cable from her PDA and drops it to the ground in aggravation. Oh, hello. Plastic-faced man looks down at his zip-tied hands, then slowly surveys his surroundings. Well, isn't this awkward? What do you want to do with this guy? He's got no memory, so it's probably safe to let him go. But Auntie said he should take a dirt nap. Wu raises his rifle. All the same to me. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. He gave us everything we asked for and more. He's seen our faces. But I have nothing to connect them with. If it's all the same with you, I'd prefer to just walk away. Yeah. Cut the cuffs. I do appreciate it. Whoever you are. The plastic-faced man gives you a little bow and leaves without another word. What are you going to tell Kindly? She said to kill him. I'll tell her the truth. Did what we needed to. Yay. The trip back from Shek-Kip-Mai back to Hioe is quiet as you process the information revealed by the plastic-faced man. Prosperity is a name. Two names, actually. One is a secret project Raymond was working on before he left for Seattle. The other is the corporate headquarters of Sang Mechanical Services. And Prosperity Tower is where Raymond Black is being held alive. It's also where his memory is in the process of being reprogrammed by his mother. And time is kicking. Time is ticking. The plastic faced man proved surprisingly amenable and quite useful. Perhaps that's why you let him go. Your next stop is kindly Cheng. She'll want to hear this, although you may leave out the part about letting him go. You step out of the MTR station and into the balmy night air. An impenetrable wall of clouds, heavy with imminent rain, has blown in from the south. It covers the stars, causes them to wink out one by one. You can smell something in the air, something electric. The wind whips up around you, and the clouds begin moving in a thick, grayscale swirl. The spiral builds and glows, shimmering with a faint amber light. Have the chocolate. That's the most important part. As you watch the clouds roil in the sky, the sounds of the city retreat. A bubble of soft white noise replaces them, wrapping around your head and reflecting your own heartbeat back on you. You look down from the clouds to see lights of the docks dancing in a warm, saturated bloom. You lean back and take in your surroundings. The boats, the golden glow of the light on the water, the lapping of gentle waves against the docks. Then the first twinge tickles your chest. Lets you know that something's coming. A moment later, you feel an incredible tightness in your chest. It feels like your heart is being crushed under the foot of a giant. Your vision goes grey, and your sense of balance disappears. Gradually, blood rushes in to refill the organ, inflating it like a balloon. You gasp for air. It doesn't come. Your breath shallows out, thins, makes you gasp like a suffocating fish. Your chest contracts again and again as you struggle to take in breath. You stumble forward, and every cell in your body seems to vibrate. The energy thrums inside of you, pulsating, building to an unbearable crescendo. And then you're on the other side of it. You find yourself standing in a familiar courtyard, the walled city. You're back in the walled city, just like in your dreams. You can taste the stench of the place. The mildew and plaster and the wet dog stink of the slum. A dream. This has to be a dream. Try to blink away the image of the walled city. To blot out the sounds and stench of the slum. You pinch yourself. You don't wake up. The crumbling facades of tenement buildings lean in on one another above you. closing in on either side and creating a narrow walkway. Just like in your dreams, there's nowhere else to go. Nowhere but forward, down the path ahead. You let your legs carry you forward. You feel a creeping sense of certainty in the back of your mind, and it tells you that you've taken this same walk hundreds of times before. The sense of claustrophobia mounts and builds with every step you take. Feels like you're worming your way forward down a long, dark tunnel. The humidity of the place sticks to your skin. As you proceed deeper into the walled city, a low rumble fills the air. The noise of enormous gears in motion. You feel hollow, empty, and with every step you take, you can feel that emptiness growing. An unbearable yearning unlike any hunger you've ever known. You stop walking, plant your feet. The world stops moving around you. You close your eyes and breathe a sigh of relief. When you open your eyes again, you find yourself moving forward. You don't remember telling your legs to walk, but that's what they're doing. Carrying you forward, deeper into the walled city. Just like you did in your dreams. Just as you always have. Off in the distance, an alien silhouette beckons you. To you. It's her. The tall, slender thing from your dreams. The elusive figure that you've always been moving toward but never quite reach. A crowd of locals lines the path ahead. Kneeling in supplication, they look emaciated, all skin and bones, clothed head to toe in dirty rags. You stare at the nearest of the kneeling figures, a wiry man in his late 20s. He locks eyes with you. Slowly his mouth yawns open. The man has no teeth. They've been pulled, and recently from the looks of it, his gums are a bloody pitted mess. As you stare into the black void of his mouth, his tongue comes lolling out. It looks like it was caught in an industrial accident. A swollen, twisted slab of meat. The corners of the young man's mouth twitch upward into a ghastly smile. None of this is real. I'm hallucinating. The man with the ruined tongue doesn't respond. He kneels in silence, staring at you as your feet carry you past him. Seconds later, he fades from view. Your legs carry you deeper and deeper into the beating heart of the tenement. If you haven't reached the center yet, you must be close. It's incredibly hot and humid in here. The sweat rolls down your body in sheets. Your thoughts go hazy with the heat, and a dim sense of unease takes root in the pit of your stomach. You try to concentrate on the unease that you're feeling, but you find it impossible to focus. The omnipresent sound of grinding gears isn't helping. Looking up, you can see where the noise is coming from. A hatch. The same door that you saw in your nightmare back when all of this began. The markings on the door are legible now. A single word in faded yellow paint. Prosperity. Suddenly, impossibly, the alien figure that you've been moving toward is standing right in front of you. At the same time, your vision finally clears and ice water runs through your veins. The walled city isn't a slum at all. It's an enormous gaping maw, and the buildings are a forest of crooked teeth. The thing reaches for you. With inhuman speed and grace, it plunges fingers of polished ivory into your mouth. Slowly, terribly, It begins to wrench your jaw open. You can feel your teeth splinter and break in. Rough fingers on your shoulder snap you back to reality. The hand clenches into a vice-like grip and yanks you backward off of your feet. You come crashing down onto the floor of the Hiei MTR station. You can feel a rush of wind in front of you, just in front of you, a passing train. What is wrong with you, Riva? Strangler Bao eyes you coolly. Auntie Cheng's lost too many runners already. Besides, there are cleaner ways to end your life than jumping in front of a train. I was just in the World City. There was this thing. He cuts you off with a grunt. You were hallucinating, and you almost got yourself killed. Now get up and get back to that floating wreck that you sleep in. And you don't get to die in here unless Mrs. Cheng says you do. Alright. Posture check. Talk to kindly. The walk through the mahjong parlor is punctuated by the tantalizing smell of coconut and fried confection. Your crew surrounds kindly Chen, watching uncomfortably as she peels small egg-shaped delicacies from a waffle-like pastry and pops them into her mouth. Each time she does, her eyes close in ecstasy and soft sound comes from her throat. There you are, Eva. Your crew tells me that you are able to locate and interrogate the plastic-faced man. The store sandal's eyes narrow and her rusty voice takes on a jagged edge. They haven't told me his current disposition, however. I assume everything went as I instructed? I let him walk away. Kindly Chen folds her hands and her face becomes perfectly still. 10 seconds go by. When she speaks again, her voice is calm. I thought I was clear that I wanted him dead. His memory was gone. He wasn't a player anymore. Your actions don't send a strong message to Josephine Sang. When I tell you I want somebody dead, I prefer that they become dead. I do the strategy. You execute the strategy. She surveys your crew. Shadowrunners who wish to remain under my protection must remember their places. Her stiff eyebrows rise. That said, you succeeded in removing one of her pieces from the board, so let's move on. She pops an egg pastry into her mouth. I trust you got something useful out of the plastic-faced man before you let him go? We got plenty. We're sounds eager. He gave us a data dump on everything we knew about Prosperity Tower. First-hand info. Josephine's headquarters. She puts down the pastry, rubs her nose, considering. That could be useful, I suppose. What do you intend on doing with it? We're gonna rescue Raymond. He's alive, Auntie. Just like I said he was. Josephine's holding him there. She's doing something to his brain. Something to his brain? She takes another bite of her pastry. What is that old bitch up to now? Based on the memory that Mr. Plastic showed us, looks like she's trying to rewire her son's memories. So, using something called ASSIST, Artificial Sensory Induction Systems Technology. It allows the user to record, process, and feed synthetic sensory input into the brain. Like a Simpsons chip. Yes, Auntie. It's the technology that led to Simpsons. It's also what allows Deckers to enter the Matrix and grants riggers a neural connection to their drones. An expert assist technician could alter someone's personality, memory, even identity. I'm guessing experts like that don't grow on trees. Definitely not. Changing someone's memories requires a world-class expert in assist and a massive amount of computing power. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing to him, but I'm guessing that his mum wants him to forget something. Or to remember it differently, maybe. What do we know about Prosperity Tower? Mr. Plastic dropped us a couple of terabytes of data on Prosperity Tower right out of his brain. Isabel and I have been studying it. What's a good intel to mine there? He looks at the rest of the crew. Just what we need to take a run at the place and hope to get out alive. Talk to me about the security setup. How do we get to Raymond? The key to this operation are the 3 security stations located on different floors. The matrix systems in those security stations are the command and control hubs for the entire building's security. As such, they're the best place to find out where Raymond Black is being held. That's all we've got on his location. All that we know is that he's being held somewhere called Lab 12. But where that is or how to get in there is something we'll need to figure out on site. If things go hostile, the best thing to do is to get to an alarm panel or a matrix security node and shut things down. If we're noticed, we'll have a brief window to cut the link to the alarm system. If we do that, it will isolate the whole floor from the security system. The rest of the building won't know what's happening there. If the alarm goes off and we cut the link to the alarm system, we can spoof the system. Tell it we've moved on to another location. That might work once or twice. But if we spoof too many alarms, they'll figure it out. How long is this brief window to cut the alarm? Maybe 30 seconds? Maybe less if the network isn't cluttered with traffic. It's there as a failsafe so security doesn't stampede all over the building if a janitor forgets to close the door. What about guards? Quantity? Training? Standard corp security for the most part, but Sang has a rapid response squad for high priority events. That would be us. Sounds manageable up to the point we find Raymond. Judging by the way Grandma Sang took our Carter, Gutshot and Nutjaw, I'd say she isn't interested in anyone getting anywhere near her son. Expect to face Sang's elite security once we find him. What else do we have on the security stations themselves? Staffing? Weaknesses? Only one thing worth mentioning. Isabel looks over to Wu. The only way into a security station is with a key card, and guards on each floor carry a card to the station on that floor. So we can get a card by taking them out, but there may be other ways of getting key cards. Wu crosses his arms across his chest. Like I said, the security stations are the key to this operation. They provide multiple opportunities to exploit the system and determine how to approach the rest of our incursion. So we go as quietly as possible until we have no choice. We don't need an entire building full of security on us. Roger that. We'll be quiet as rats. I see what you did there. So which station do we hit first? The little Decker purses her lips. No way to know. We'll need to take one of them and use it to determine our next step. It's like we have directions to go find a map. Well, that's all I need to know about security. How do we stop this assist thing from rewiring Raymond? All we know is that an assist device is located in Lab 12. It's the only one in the building. Now, I doubt that Grandma will just hand over the passcodes to her system if we ask nicely. So we'll need a Decker to access the assist device and eject him from the system safely before she scrambles his brain. Got it. What does the Decker need to do to eject him safely? Like I said, we don't know. We're going to have to improvise. Figure that out when we get there. Alright, then how do we make our approach? Fortunately, Prosperity Tower is one of Sang's low security locations. It's mostly administrative, marketing, that sort of thing. That's good. Kindly turns to her enforcer. Mr. Bao, give the runners those old Sang security passes you used on that hijacking last year. Yes, Mrs. Chen, they'll get them. Those passes should get you through the lobby. The triad boss pokes a fingernail between her teeth and dislodges a piece of pastry. You'll still have to explain your presence, Reaver, so don't expect to just walk on through. What about that junk data you held onto after the wishing run, Isabel? Anything in there we could use? Good thinking, and I'm already ahead of you. I scoured the leftover wishing paperwork and found a way to change our status to special couriers. We can use that to pose as third-party wishing third-party wishing users to deliver important packages. That'll work out for a while, but we can't expect to stay in cover for long. One way or another, things are gonna get hot. Now let's go with the loading dock. The loading dock sounds like just the edge we need. Let's do it. Okay, I'll get us booked into Sang's system and print off some matching papers. We'll need a van to make it look legit. How? Consider it done. That's all I need to know. One other thing. While I was helping Duncan verify as much of this data as I could, I decided to collect our marker with Bull and his team of runners. Good call. We need all the help we can get. Isabel looks up at Wu, her eyes big and round. Yeah, no kidding. Turns out Bull and our runner friends hit Sang a few months back. Low-rank smash and grab for another corp. But they got a quick scan of the building's matrix security before they rabbited. They gave us data flags that pinpoint where the security nodes are located inside of Sang's system. So when we jack into a security station, we'll be able to make a direct attack on the security node. That could just buy us the seconds we'll need to cut the alarm link. Nice work. Kindly Chuck cuts in, licking her fingers with loud smacking noises. One more thing, Reva. While you're in her headquarters, look for anything we can use to incriminate or embarrass Josephine Sang. I want dirt. Something I could feed to an acquaintance on the Executive Council. Someone who stands to gain from it. Does this dirt come with a cash bonus? She pops another egg treat in her mouth and her eyes close tight with pleasure. Of course, my sweet. Of course. Now go enjoy Prosperity Tower, she smiles wolfishly, and give Josephine Sang my regards. How much money do I have? 2656. I'm gonna grab the corporate etiquette. I'm gonna talk to the crew, and then I'll also talk to Crafty. I took the boys this time. What'd you think about that last one? You mean extracting the plastic-faced man? Will frowns and his answer comes out on a low rasp. I knew we'd eventually find that guy, but getting the information out of him before he brainwiped was tense. He looks at his boots for a minute, making a decision. Hey, listen, I don't disagree with you in front of the crew. I didn't disagree with you in front of the crew. But I wouldn't have let that guy just walk away like that. Too dangerous to leave him alive? He's a loose end, and we don't need those right now. We're in enough trouble as it is. We don't need someone like him walking around. Dumb or not, it's the decision I made. Yeah, I get it. I have no trouble with you being in the lead. You're doing fine, I'm just telling you. I'll get off it now. He stops, raises a finger. Just one more thing. That guy took Raymond. For that alone, I'd drill him. At least we know that Raymond's alive now. His lips tighten over his teeth. I fucking knew it. Now we need to get him out of Prosperity Tower before Grandma reprograms him. Man, she sounds like a real piece of work, doesn't she? Maybe we'll get to say hi when we bust into her headquarters. He grabs his goggles off his bunk. I want to see if there's a family resemblance before I drop her. Anyway, enough about that. Need anything else? Alright. We're close, Reva. We're so close I can taste. A few more hours, maybe a day or two, and you'll have your father back. Josephine Singh is going to get what's coming to her. For you, me, and especially for Nightjar, Gutshot, and Carter. And we've got the plastic-faced man to thank for it. You shouldn't have let Kindly know that we let the guy live there. I mean, she was pretty clear with us that she wanted him dead, even if we didn't. We're still alive, so I guess that we can count our blessings. But the next time that something like this comes up, remember that what Kindly doesn't know can't hurt us. Did I ask about the Yama Kings? I'm pretty sure I did. Alright, lay it on me. Gordon Yan saved his mother from a fate worse than death. Gordon was the cleverest boy in the old city, could steal whatever he liked without getting caught, sneak into any room unseen, and could talk his way past any grown-up that might try to stop him. Get the picture? A real hero for the 9-year-old set. So one day Gordon's mother fell ill. Bloody Flux brought on by a curse and was going to kill her. She told Gordon that he should accept her death. The curse had come from a Yama King, and there was no medicine that could prevent her from claiming her. She begged him to run, to escape the old city, and to use his cleverness to make a life for himself somewhere far away. Gordon loved his mother and refused to obey her request. Instead, he searched high and low for a way to save her life. For a long time nothing came to him, but finally he happened upon an old man who told him about a powerful Yama King that could cure any ill for a price. Which Yama King? One of the ones that you've told me about, or a different one? Different. It doesn't have a name, or he did, but because of what happened, speaking it is taboo. The story is a little fuzzy on the details. We've always just called him the Nameless King. So Gordon went out in search of the Nameless King, made his way through Triad territory, past the Thrill Gangers, and the Organ Liggers, you know the drill. Eventually he made it to the inner walled city, where he found the Nameless King's court. The human servants of the Nameless King took Gordon to stand before the creature they worshipped, and Gordon proposed his deal. "Nameless King," he said, "I need your help. My mother is dying of an ill that only you can cure." "That may be so," said the Nameless King, "but what is it to me? What will you offer me if I spare her?" "If you restore her to health, I will join your court in repayment. I, the cleverest boy in the walled city, and I will serve you loyally and well." The Nameless King was excited now, for he knew of Gordon's cleverness, and he coveted the little boy's soul. Gordon pulled a braid of his mother's hair from his pocket and held it out before the Nameless King. "A lock of my mother's hair, O King. Cure her of this flux, and I am yours to command as you please." The Nameless King worked his magic, and Gordon's mother was cured. So what happened then? Gordon joined the Nameless King's court. No. When the Nameless King turned on Gordon, he laughed in the monster's face. "I have tricked you, Nameless King, for my mother was the property of another of your kind. In curing her, you have robbed the Yama King of his dinner." The Nameless King raged and turned on Gordon, his razor blade fingers flexing wide. But before he could bring his arm down in a killing stroke, it was caught in the grasp of 1,000 hooks, claws, and fangs. The Yama Kings, all of them. "You have stolen from one of your own kind, brother," said the Yama Kings. "Her life was not yours to save." Gordon slipped away as the Yama Kings descended on their brother. He did not watch as they tore the Nameless King apart and bathed in his steaming viscera. He made his way back home to his mother, who was cured. And that was the one time that a living boy outwitted a Yama King. She stretches, cracking her back, and clears her throat awkwardly. And that's the story. Like I said, you can see why we liked it. It's basically a fairy tale, and the little boy wins in the end. It's the only story about the Yama King that contains even a shred of hope. What do you think it means? I don't know. Probably doesn't mean anything. It's just a story is all. You're the one who asked. That's all for now. Alright. Talk to Gobbet about the run. Any thoughts about the run? I think we're closing in on the end here, Seattle. With the data we got from the plastic-faced man, Josephine's number is just about up. She grins, patting you gently on the arm. "Just think, you'll be able to get your dad back. That's gotta be worth something, right? Can't believe you told Kindly Cheng that we let the plastic guy go, though. I mean, we still have our skin, and we aren't chained to a rock at the bottom of a lake, so I'm counting it as a win. But still, next time just lie, okay?" The gentle pat turns into slaps. Her smile looks forced. "I'm not joking, by the way. Don't do that again. Seriously. So, what else did you want to chat about?" Alright, now the boys downstairs. And also check my computer. And Typhon Isagi's periphery. Rakta, my boy. Any thoughts about that last run? Another betrayal. You would think that I'd be used to it by now, but I am most assuredly not. That said, the Jiaoxi's gambit failed him. Josephine Zhang's plans have been laid bare, and we are in a position to act on this knowledge. The upper hand is ours. Stretch, the restraint that you showed in sparing the plastic-faced man was difficult to understand, but I am not ungrateful. I strongly suspect that we are kindred spirits, he and I. The work that he had done on his face was magnificent. It was art, and I find hope in that, all other considerations aside. Alright, Shadowrun, be well, my friend. Come back another time. Dim cabin's air is thick with the pungency of incense. A small, rudely constructed altar sits near Gaichi's box of mementos. It consists of a wooden box, a few trinkets, and a bowl for burning incense. Gaichi himself is polishing his sword again. He runs a claw along the length of the blade, feeling and listening for nicks and dents. Good evening, Reaver. A fine evening, isn't it? He puts the sword aside and smiles in your general direction. What can I do for you? Don't have anything to say about what happened to Ishida? Of course, I have thoughts about it. Why would I burden you or anyone else with them? If you would like to talk about it, then we may, by all means. I am a private person by nature, however. This is why I did not seek you out, to speak on it. Of course I want to talk about it. You okay? A curious question. Am I alright? I, the one who survived, who has now shed his old life entirely, who no longer needs to worry about assassins on his heels. Yes, I am more than alright. I am free. The team is all dead, save for Ishida. He will know what it's like to feel the disease burn through his brain, stripping logic and artistry and leaving only hunger in its wake. When it is done, I am certain he will be an animal, while I remain, whatever it is that I am. Gaichu, but one that may speak and act as a free being. Gaichu grins thinly, cradling his chin in one hand. There is some poetic justice in this, I feel. His claims of my weakness, mirrored by his own descent into feral madness. And yet here I am, one with enough willpower to survive and prosper, despite my ill fortune. It was your choice. So long as you stand by it, that's what matters. Thank you for understanding. The ability to choose, consciously, is what sets me apart from other ghouls. Understand, Ishida was a product of the same training that shaped me. But unlike me, he has never had the training proven wrong. He always believed he was the strongest, the best, and that he was unbeatable by lesser creatures. He would never have learned. His xenophobia and arrogance would have ruled him his entire life. Men like Ishida are the reason that Japan refuses to accept that the awakening was a natural affair, and ships metahumans to Yomi Island. I was taught that people like Duncan, Gobbett, and Isabel are subhuman. Yet I have seen what they can accomplish, and I am impressed. What will you do now? Gaichi recoils, his expression one of rank incredulity. Surely you are joking with me. I will stay here and aid you in your endeavors. I have no other life to return to, nor anyone else to call friend. As you have aided me, so too will I aid you. This life in the shadows is the most free and open I have ever felt. I have no desire to go or do anything else. Perhaps later I will. but not anytime soon. What did you think of that last mission? A strange affair. I confess, when Xiaoxi betrayed us, I was concerned. It seemed that your quarry would slip from your grasp once more, and that the puppet master, Josephine Tsang, would remain in the shadows. Josephine's oversight in allowing Xiaoxi to live was a terrible mistake. I find it especially interesting that after all of this, you allowed the plastic-faced man to live. Your understanding of the realities of shadow life surpasses any others that I have met. Your restraint is admirable, and reflects how you see your own place in the world. He is a man doing a job, just as we are. We are not enemies. The great and powerful are, safe in their steel towers. Have a good night, Daichi, and the same to you, my friend. Yay, we're all friends. And Duncan was pretty much the only one who was cool with killing the plastic-faced man. Right, Crafty. And then we go to start the Prosperity Tower mission. Play through that for as long as I can. Back so soon? Tell me what you need and I'll see what I can do. Think you could send me a copy of those notes? Crafty taps a finger to her nose. Already a step ahead of you. I just finished digitally transcribing the information. I'll send it your way. She looks around the book-covered shop. As soon as I find my terminal. Thanks, Crafty. So what's the latest? The latest. She walks over to a glass table and starts tossing books off of it. As she digs through them, you realize that the table is not actually a table, but a glass display full of dried medicinal ingredients. Crafty withdraws a notebook from the pile. Its binding unraveling, and the pages holding on for dear life. Here we go. This one's loaded. With what? A couple of big finds. Mum's notes are a mess, so I boiled them down to the most important information. An exorcism and the Yama Kings. Where do you want to start? Tell me about the Yama Kings. I've run across stories about the Yama Kings in my own research. Do the Yama Kings have names? Rules, blah blah blah. Oh, you have already had all this. And the exorcism. Go on. Yeah, we've already had that. Feeling alright? Take a break. Pace yourself. You're selling magic, which I can't use. 1400. Alright, let's go. I have my new weapon. Infiltrate Prosperity Tower. Definitely taking Isabel. What else? take Duncan. And Robert or Raptor? We'll go with Goblet. Infiltrating the headquarters of the Megacorp and locating Raymond Black will be challenge enough. Extricating from his mother's assist device before his memories are permanently altered is another thing altogether. You hop the MTR South Island line and roll noisily down to the nearby island of Appalachia, a dense forest of soaring skyscrapers and corporate greed. Amid them, blending innocuously with its neighbors, stands Prosperity Tower. Emerging from the MTR station, you find a delivery van waiting for you, just where Strangler said it would be. You pull the van around the building into the loading dock of Sang Mechanical Services and its CEO, Josephine Sang. Alright. Make sure that everybody's equal. Yeah, we're good. Alright, we're sitting. The metallic scent hits you as you enter the loading dock, a swirl of gas, oil, and steel packing crates. The fluorescent lighting above casts a gross hue throughout the dingy garage. One of the lights in the corner is out, smashed in by the looks of it. Seems the behind-the-scenes world of Sang is just as dirty as its business practices. Not far in front of you stand a couple corporate workers, unaware, or at least indifferent, to your presence. Security may look light, but we're not in yet. Words will only get us so far. Things are bound to get heated eventually. Just prepared to cover your ass when bullets fly. We've got a lot to get past before you can get to Raymond. He's right. Keep our objective in sight. Kindly said we can find information on Raymond's location in the security stations. It'll be tricky getting into them, but once we do, that's also where we can cut the alarm system. Once we find Raymond, I'd be happy to help with his liberation. She wraps her fingers on her cyberdeck. Oh, and as for the Sang security passes, you shouldn't rely solely on them. They'll help, but using them alongside our own wits will be most effective. The loading dock supervisor is glued to his monitor, his hand holding a sound piece up to his right ear. You hear a faint cheer from the device, and he shoves his fist into the air in triumph. Score! With his eyes now off the screen, he spots you. Well, it's about time. He pauses as he takes in your appearance. You really the special courier wishing sent to deliver our load of Enviro controller chips? None other than. Skepticism tints his expression. Let's see your credentials. You see his eyes dart over the ID, glances at you before sighing and pushing it away. Checks out. Huh. Delivery standards have really dropped these days. Take that shipment to the security station in the sub-basement. This door here will lead you to the right floor. Once you check things in the station, head back here. Don't wander off. Your clearance is for the sub-basement only. The guards around here are strict as sin. I made a joke to one once, and he nearly glared me in half. I swear. They must have their sense of humor surgically removed. Gotcha. Is it okay to leave the van here? Crew's on lunch, so you should have plenty of time. I'll buzz you in once you get back. Alright, be back soon. Guard's brow furrows at your approach. He looks giddy, or maybe antsy, as he flexes the hand closest to his handgun. Oh, this area's off limits. Only select personnel are allowed in here. You have identification? Easy, man. Just making a delivery. He blinks in confusion, then seems to decide something, and nods his head. Delivery, right. On with you then. You're greeted by the sight of a dwarf leaning against a desk, nose deep inside a book. The plaque next to her hip reads, Maintenance Lead. She holds up her finger to silence you, eyes locked on her story. After a moment, she dog-ears her page and sets her book to on top of the desk. By the way she sizes you up, I agree. You can tell that she is not in the business of making friends. Yes. New employee orientation told me to report here for training assignments until the next shift rotation. Before you do anything around here, you've got to change out of those ridiculous clothes. Hit the locker room and grab a uniform. Show some goddamn company pride. She studies you again, clearly unimpressed. Well, at least they finally sent me somebody. Yeah, the locker code. Code is 2627. And we'll put on our uniforms. The rest of your team begrudgingly rifles through the locker, picking out uniforms closest to their size. One by one, they button up, and soon a hodgepodge of frumpy maintenance workers stand before you. A little tight in the arms, but great in the hips. Could really tear up a dance floor in this. She swivels her hips and spins on her heel. When she comes back around, she grabs her chin and strikes a pose. This is the pose I'll use to win hearts. She straightens up and pats the uniform. Hope Singh doesn't mind if I keep this. Now we turn to the manager. Much better. Should I assume this is your new sector? That's what they told me. She lets out a breath of relief. About time I got some help down here. I've got a task to break you in fast. The autocoupler on the main terminal is out. Flow regulators need a restart. Engage its airflow mixers, then report back to me. A standard model terminal. Everything looks fairly basic, including its controls. You notice something urgent flashing in the corner of the screen, a message entitled Urgent. Urgent, Young, Thomas. To Maintenance Office. Lee, I need you to get your team together and fix the climate turbine. Make it top priority. It's been radiating heat on warm days and cooling on cold days. People around the office are getting pissy. I'm not going to take their shit on your behalf, so the longer you wait, the more your quarterly review will suffer. Thomas Young, Vice President of Building Maintenance. Attached to the message is a work order. A red sentence reads, accept task, yes or no. Reboot the controls. Good work, rookie. That's all I need for now. Why don't you take a break? Let's do it outside of my office. I've got a date with a new novel. Great. Oh, wait. Did I mention that the terminal had another maintenance request in it. Something about fixing a turbine. I accepted the task. She slams her hands on top of her desk. What? You signed off on the goddamn turbine engine? Can't do that. I'd need at least a crew of 4 level 3 techs to even do an evaluation of that thing. The longer that request sat in the system, the worse it'd look for us anyway. The anger drains from her. She closes her eyes and rubs her temple. Shit, rookie. You signed off on the order. We've got to do it, or this department is sunk. This is what we're gonna do. You head to the turbine. I'll unlock admin controls from here. Now, it's very important. Very expensive piece of machinery. So you need to do exactly what I say. Got it? Got it. Kaboom. A live video window is open in the middle of the terminal screen. You see the face of the ever-tense maintenance manager glaring back at you. Alright, rookie. I started the turbine in standby mode, so its electronics should be working. I need you to troubleshoot the issue from your end while I reference the machine's manual on my end. Now let's see. It says here we should start by repressurizing the hydraulics. There should be a program on your terminal specifically for monitoring and controlling the turbine. Once you're in there, select the hydraulics and hit the appropriate command. The turbine hisses as the hydraulics pressurize. Well, that's something. Indicator lights are still red, though. Sometimes the engine sizes my radar connection becomes misaligned, so try adjusting that. It shouldn't need to move more than a couple of centimeters. Done. Machine remains unchanged. Huh? Maybe the rotor speed needs to be recalibrated? And done. Something groans inside the turbine, and the base of the rotor begins to rumble. Hey, that's it. Don't let the noise fool you. We've identified the problem. The rotor must have been recalibrated the opposite of what it needed. One more try and it should fix the turbine. Give it a go. A thunderous grating noise rumbles inside the machinery, followed by a loud explosion as a sheet of flame erupts from its top. What did you do? I'm not sure. Is it supposed to shoot fire? Damn it, get your ass over to security. They're going to want a statement. Bang on the door. A muffled, annoyed voice shouts from the other side. What? I'm the person who blew up the turbine. I'm supposed to make a statement? Lucky you. 1 second and I'll let you fill out the property damage forms on our terminal. Alright, come on in. Just don't go poking around in the security system. Stick to the forms. Terminal's in the back. Yeah, sure. There are enough open ports to hook a cyberdeck up to this terminal. With so few eyes on it, seems like a good opportunity to prod through Sang records. In we go. Get over there. No, no. Internal announcement. Sang security increase. Sang company has increased its security measures in a company-wide movement to protect its investments. Sang's actions on this matter are to remain company knowledge only. Any mention or leak of this information will not be tolerated. Employees found guilty of divulging said security movement to outside parties will be blacklisted and purged from Sang Mechanical Services. Security protocols will double throughout Sang proper. In the case of Laboratory 12, security will be enhanced threefold for optimum protection. Those who work in Laboratory 12 will be upgraded to Omega level clearance. Admittance to the laboratory will be heavily monitored. All visitors must have Omega clearance or higher with critical business in the area. Or with business in the area. Captain of this station has pre-approved a limited release of Laboratory 12's elevator code to Omega personnel. Receipt of this message is proof of your authorization. Warning, this information is highly sensitive and should remain restricted to Omega Plus knowledge only. Violators will experience the aforementioned blacklisting and company purging. After a quick scan of the data store, 2 message threads stand out. One about the locker room and one about the first aid station. Notice of security update. Apparently those dicks over at maintenance have been tossing their crappy broken gear into the first aid room. So I changed the door code. It is now 4990. If they get pissed, just remember that it's a medical facility. The pricks will be spewing up things the next time they hack someone's arm off with a letter or whatever. Signed, Vincent, security engineer. Maintenance, did you assess the change? Did you ask us to change the locker code again? Sure did, but only because your department forgot to do it. I don't need your sass, I need the damn locker code. 2626, you're welcome. Alright. Get over there. I don't have suppression. Three, 7, 4, 2. 9, 7, 4, 1. 3, 8, 9, 8, 2. That should be enough. Okay, third is a W. Front W. That's the only one. W, circle thing at the end. W next to it. You hack the node and the vulnerable network is quickly infected by spoof programs. Within a matter of seconds, the programs spread across the system, sending false security alarms throughout SANG. The security network is becoming less and less stable. All guards pick up the summons to locate each alarm's origin, but they continue to only find dead ends. And I probably didn't even need to do that. What are you doing back here? You've got paperwork to file. No chance in hell I'm taking the heat for your mess. So get your ass over to security. Either you deal with them, or you deal with me. Trust me, you do not want to deal with me. Sales and acquisitions. On the elevator wall is a large panel covered in buttons. The keypad is mounted beside it. The buttons are left unlabeled, but you know from the plastic-faced man's data which floors have security stations. Timid woman looks at you from her station. Excuse me, ma'am. The SANG employees on this floor may only be seen through a pre-approved appointment. Not even maintenance is exempt. Do you Do you have an appointment? This will only take a second. Just need to tweak some air units. If they get fixed on your watch, it'll look good on your record. Then I can get on with the rest of my work orders too. Win for the both of us. What do you say? She fiddles with an earring. I don't see why not. Just try to have an appointment ready next time, okay? To access the air units, will you need employees to clear the area? I can get security to usher people out if that'd help. No need to bother anyone. I can work around them. Have a good one. You too, man. The woman eyes your uniform. She smiles. Something I can do for you? Just a routine check for maintenance issues. Things running in order here? Absolutely. We have no problems here. But my office really does. Our sales team is Sang's top performer. The contracts and acquisitions team to the south of us, however, I'd check in with them, ma'am. They're bound to be mired in technical problems, as one would expect from professional slackers. Thanks for the tip. The woman before you looks like one very burnt out suit. What do you want? From the look of you, I'd say quarterlies are just around the corner. How's your team doing? Need to talk about it? She chews on her lip, unsure. With a sigh, she speaks. Yeah, why not? Doubt I'll ever see you again. I could use a good venting session. It's the stack ranking here. My team, contracts and acquisitions, is in the deep end. But not because we're slackers like sales would have you believe. The way she bites into the word sales reeks of enmity. Because the system isn't based on merit. We're working our asses off over here while sales doesn't even have to lift a finger. And while they're ranked ahead of us, they're way behind work-wise. Guess for what? Sang doesn't care about it, or they'd look at other ranks. Come this quarterly review, whoever's last in the stack rankings will get demoted. Or worse, sent back to the training pool. She shudders. That's a broken system if I ever heard one. You don't have to tell me. Sales is reveling in our distress and rubbing their success in our faces. But it's not just that. They're also undermining our work by denying us important data that my team needs in order to hand off our contracts to Sang upper management. As if the rankings weren't enough. What if I could get you that data? She gives you a long look. What's in it for you? I need into this floor security station. I'm sure we can arrange something. I'm offering to help you tilt the balance between your team and sales. What do you think? I have the code, but what? I'm not supposed to have it. Technically don't have the credentials either. I'm kind of seeing one of the guys in security. He wanted me to have a safe place in case anything ever happened here. Don't worry. If it comes to it, I'll take the heat. She chews on her lip, nods. Okay, I'll do it. The sales team's data for the station code. That's the deal. Understood. How can I help you, ma'am? Got word of a level 8 maintenance issue right here in your office. If it's not fixed now, things will get messy. I need everyone out of this room for the next half hour. Her mouth drops open, but after the initial surprise drains away, she looks doubtful. What kind of issue are we talking about? Very serious issue. I know how valuable your time is, so this repair job is top priority. I'll be in and out in the time it takes you to grab a soy calf. She straightens up and immediately takes on an air of authority. Our time is valuable, as befits a team of our importance. I appreciate the respect and high priority that we've been given. We'll return shortly, so you'd best be finished by the time we're back. Oh, and don't leave a mess. No problem. I'll have it fixed in a flash. See that you do. Quick look is all it takes to reveal that this terminal is an unnetworked workstation. Sitting there all unattended and vulnerable. It's just asking, begging to be hacked. Isabel, do you see what I see? Isabel smirks and raises her hands, wiggling her fingers in the air. It's weak. I've got this. Within a matter of seconds, she's entered a string of commands and transferred several classified files onto a data stick, which she casually drops into your hand. It has been defeated. You're welcome. The acquisitions manager looks at you eagerly. Did you get it? Right here. Yes, perfect. Thank you. As promised, here is the code. A stroke of fear seems to freeze her. I'm not going to get into any trouble, right? You covered your trail? Don't worry about it. Dang it, I don't have enough. Door lock with a keycard scanning feature. The door opens with a thud. What are you doing here? We didn't call for maintenance. Maintenance doesn't have to be called for me to maintain the building. That's my job. This will only take a moment. Sassy, aren't you? Still can't let you in without the passphrase. I was told I don't need one for a routine fix. That's policy. No one would forget that, unless you're not who you say you are. He reaches for his weapon. Gonna get Isabel to the terminal. Hmm. All right. Do. And do killer. Get over there. Start 9429. 9714. 53798. Thingy. You hack the node, and the now vulnerable network is quickly infected by spoof programs. Within a matter of seconds, the programs spread across the system, sending false security alarms throughout SAN. The security network is slowly compromised. A few guards catch wind of the alarms and begin to investigate the cause, but the false alarms direct them to dud locations. Get in there. And zap. Okay, the first one is an M. The captain of this station has pre-approved the limited release of Laboratory 12's elevator code to Omega personnel. Receipt of this message is proof of your authorization. Warning. Information is highly sensitive, blah 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 blah. List of digital conversations have been sent from this floor appears. One in particular, an exchange between a Sang executive and an employee in accounting. Looks promising. Data store passcodes request. Li Shan, 2 Magical Research. I was informed that you're the best person to contact regarding the passcodes for the Magical Research Center. As a new recruit to the accounting team, and with security being so tight, I lack access to the center's files that are necessary to perform my biannual accounting report. I'd appreciate it if you'd send me the codes by end of day today. Shan Li, Accounting Specialist. Data store passcodes request, Magical Research. No. What you're asking for is extremely unorthodox and in blatant disregard of company protocol. My department is under constant scrutiny and I can't afford a leak. You'll have to go through the proper channels and fill out the requested paperwork if you want the passcodes. Mei Lin Jiao, Vice President of Magical Research. Dear Miss Lin Jiao, allow me to rephrase my earlier request. You send me the passcodes and I'll review the Magical Research Center's finances. I heard that your lab's been hemorrhaging funds this last quarter. Perhaps I could massage those numbers to make the lab appear more monetarily efficient. Attached are the passcodes for my department's core system terminal. You will access the system only under my direct supervision. Okay, now we can get out of here. A calm, stern-faced man stands before you. He casually checks his watch as he addresses you, his voice tinged with boredom. I was hoping you would have handled things with, how should I put this, more discretion. As a runner, I thought you'd know better. And it's too late to change tacks now, what with all the dead guards around here. You've been waiting for me. He smiles. The expression on his face is unsettling. I have. You see, I am a great judge of character. And, now that you're here, you have a choice to make. Fight me, or walk away. No need to spill more blood than required. Besides, bullets are expensive. I knew you were a reasonable woman. He motions toward the door. Good luck to you. I think I screwed up. Gotta do this all over again. Up to you. Blah, 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 blah. Get the data. Do the thingy up here. Up to you. Do. Wait for that time. Go in, do the thing. Okay. Go back. Here you go. Use key card. Swordfish. Do. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, back from doing dishes. Nice. 6799. All right. W thingy circle. Perfect. Take care of that. Circle around to the other area. Dang it. Get over there. Get over there. Get over there. Heck, start. One, 4, 1, 7, 4, 9, 2, 1, 6. Okay. That one? Yep. Grab all that information. Read the conversation, blah 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 blah. Disconnect. Very good. And who the hell are you? He smiles. The expression on his face is unsettling. Just think of me as a great judge of character. And now that you're here, you have a choice to make. Fight me or walk away. An overconfident corporate hand in a freshly starched suit. I like my odds. Then you've decided. A pity. I was hoping that we could do business together. Well, let's not drag this out. Get her. Do, do, do. There we go. Now let's grab this stuff. An elegant terminal, no doubt teeming with valuable SAN information, is unattended. One quick motion and you could probably jerk into it with a cyber deck. Isabel, you're up. Here, over there. Thingy. And that. A series of holographic components spring from this data archive, linked by relational vectors. Financial records on Walled City project. Glowing bluish-white letters crystallize above the tangled network. Document cluster A201-WCP-003-Secure11 Final. Walled City Low-Income Housing Project Financial Records and Reporting. Final. Material Class 11, granted access only. Executive Summary describes the finances of the Walled City construction contract. Saying mechanical services received about 950 million new yen from other corporations via the Executive Council. It then spent this money to build the Walled City. Next is a dense description of cost, targets, metrics, and financial assessment, analysis, and accounting methods. However, a short section of the final paragraph stands out. Achieved 35% diversion of funds while maintaining workmanship at generally acceptable levels. Severe downward cost pressures, large finance risk, and information control presented major challenges in executing a financial strategy for the WCL IHP. The co-construction of two concurrent initiatives, WCL IHP and Prosperity, presented a major financial as well as operational challenge. Such large funding diversions are difficult to adequately obfuscate. The author again wishes to note that the WCL-IHP official records in their current form still may not withstand scrutiny during the post-project audit by the Executive Council. Deep revision ex post facto is advised. The language of these documents is an opaque fog of finance and accounting. Without special training, it is incomprehensible. The associated visuals are a tangle of pie charts and dynamic graphs with data layers like pre-adjustment accruals, taxable share, payroll allocations, and depreciation flow. Most are uninteresting or esoteric, however, three options stand out. Master cash flow. A layer of luminous green lines appear, flowing through the system chart. They appear to be budgets and fund reservoirs, coded for various purposes. The green lines are divided into two sections. Each has glowing white text beneath. Section 1. Project receivables, 943,410,184 yen. Reallocation, 609,480,194 yen. Diversion percentage, 35.4. Section 2. This is an enormous scrolling list of Walled City construction expenses. Next to each is a single word, redacted. Utilities and excavation, A dense network of tiny nodes and branching lines appears inside the system chart. It appears to be a granular mapping of all utility-related allocations, expenditures, and assets. An organizational hierarchy forms beside the system chart, listing upper management of the utilities component. At the top, you see a familiar name. Edward Sam, Vice President of Special Projects. Directly beneath him are two subordinates, Cameron Yu, Construction Engineer, Excavation and Utilities. Under Cameron Yu, a full organizational chart fans out dozens of names and positions. The name of the second subordinate is missing. In its place is a single word, redacted. Under the second subordinate, a much larger organizational chart appears, with hundreds of nodes. In this second chart, however, the same word accompanies every node, redacted. Funds reallocation substructure. The thin threads of yellow light spring from numerous nodes in the huge system chart and begin flowing through others. The yellow threads snake down below, bouncing through a series of nodes and changing colors, until they converge into a single brilliant point. An incandescent white word appears beside it. Prosperity. No file exists at this location. Download the file and disconnect. There is no greater crime than embezzlement. Okay. That's the one. Foreign accounts. Inside the foreign accounts file is a series of recent transactions. It looks pretty standard. Several same monetary deals with foreign partners and businesses. Some money incoming, some outgoing. Closer look at the files and a variance in the pattern appears. It seems that a few of the deals are encoded to prevent them from appearing in the company's standard financial logs. Interestingly, of the handful of encoded files, all contain records of deals established through bribery with some of Zhang's business partners. Even more interesting is a chunk of the clean yuan that's attached to the data. Right, we've done everything here. Dermatological research. And I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do all this floor. So this is where we'll save it. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough time to do that today. Alrighty, friends. That's going to be all for now. I'm going to be back again later tonight with my time at Sandrock. Yeah, I'll be back again tonight with my time at Sandrock, which is gonna be fun. And we'll continue this tomorrow. And if today... Actually, we might finish this by the end of the week. If not, then we'll definitely be finishing it on Monday. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing how this story ends. Alright, let's go raid somebody, shall we? Or where are we raiding to? Let's go raid our friend here. Alrighty, friends. Take care of yourselves. I will be back. Yeah, I'll be back later tonight with thingy. What you call it? Yes, my time at Sandrock, and we'll do Shadowrun Hong Kong tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.